There's a David and Goliath battle being waged in the highly competitive Gold Coast tourism market. In one corner, the big three theme parks, jostling for the hearts, minds and money of visitors. In the other corner, there's the not-for-profit Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary, which is fighting to maintain market share and remain relevant. Tom Forbes reports.
One was built on bird feeding, the other on adrenaline. And both are trying to survive in the same crowded market.
This one's only about 2.
Gardener and beekeeper Sir Alex Griffiths opened the Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary on his family's Gold Coast property 64 years ago. In 1976, he gifted the growing tourist attraction to the National Trust of Queensland.
So it's been going through a lot of changes on the Gold Coast as the Gold Coast has grown up, and it's got enormous competition now with the bigger theme parks up the road.
And they don't come any bigger than Dreamworld.
It's incredibly competitive, but, you know, healthy competition is a good thing.
The theme park now has more than 40 rides and attractions, but it also had humble beginnings. It opened 30 years ago with just a handful of rides and attractions. All attractions need a steady stream of visitors to survive.
Back in the 90s, they used to attract a lot of international visitors. That's less the case now because visitors that used to come from Asia can now go to Disneyland in Hong Kong or Universal Studios in Singapore. They're building a new Disneyland in Shanghai.
University of Queensland tourism lecturer Pierre Benkendorf says park operators are now heavily reliant on domestic visitors. He says attracting them once is easy, but luring them back again is harder. And that's why parks are always expanding.
Places like SeaWorld have a serious problem because they don't have a lot of land. Dreamworld and Movie World have got a bit more land, but they can't keep expanding. So what they tend to do is some of the rides and attractions within those theme parks will have a use-by date.
Look, I think it is through continued evolution, innovation. Look, we'd always hope to be launching new rides every year, looking at ways that we can diversify our experiences.
And it seems the more adrenaline-fueled, the better.
We actually come to Dreamworld because I've got teenage children, and we actually find that there's a lot more rides for them here, and they seem to, just really like it.
And people have got a taste of that, and the kinds of experiences that the smaller attractions offer now, feeding lorikeets, is nice, but there's not a strong element of entertainment that people are looking for.
The operators of the Currumbin Sanctuary disagree and are taking a more gentle approach. The wildlife park used celebrations to mark the 100th birthday of Sir Alex Griffiths, if he were alive, with local school children.
You know, you're not lining up in huge queues, and whilst it's not all about adrenaline, it's a bit more about memories, and I think if Currumbin is anything, it's about creating lifelong memories.
They're hoping that when these school children grow up, they will return as parents.
It has lots of animals and I like animals. Just look at the animals, walk around, catch the train.
Currumbin says it markets the sanctuary at families with young children who want to see, touch and learn about native animals.
Well, I'm actually a teacher, and I'm always looking for things that are educational for the children, and our kids are right into koalas and kangaroos, and just thought we'd give them the experience here.
If their long-term plan is derailed, tourism experts believe the wildlife sanctuary could join forces with a bigger operator to stay afloat.
People are taking longer holidays in the Gold Coast. They're generally not here just for a day, so why not spend a day at Movie World and then half a day or a day at Currumbin if they were able to package up a product like that.
Look, we'll always look at those sorts of things, and the door's always open to making sure that we can stay relevant. But at the end of the day, I suppose our motives are slightly different to some of the bigger theme parks.
Tourists have long been the lifeblood of the Gold Coast. 11.5 million people visited the Gold Coast in the past 12 months, spending just over $4 billion. Now, most of those were day trippers, but domestic tourists who stay overnight spend an average of 4 days, giving them plenty of opportunities to visit the beach, but also the tourist attractions.
A lot of people that go to the Gold Coast and destinations like the Gold Coast tend to spend a few days there, and so there are always secondary attractions that people might go and visit during their time, and Currumbin's probably a good example of a secondary attraction.
Tough economic times have forced some businesses into a holding pattern, but the sanctuary's CEO says he's optimistic about the future.
I think the future of the sanctuary is good. I think it's coming of age. I think the innocent mix of family fun and wildlife without all the frills of the rides is still something which is very popular.
The Gold Coast would be much worse off if there were just the 3 theme parks there.